Welcome back to Magny Cours, round 3 of the 2010 Lotus Cup Europe, with plenty of great racing underway as Marc Goudet chases down Stefano D'Aste, and D'Aste in turn is trying to reel in the number 10 car of Olivier Cunat. They are fighting for the lead of the Exige class, as it is D'Aste. He's got his indicator. I'm not sure really what he's telling Marc Goudet, except stay behind me. Marc Goudet in the bright orange 211, the 42 car. You can see there the battle working his way across the shot, and then in the rear of the field we've got Tom Chataway, who is just beginning to pull away now from Steve Williams. The pair of them were pretty much conjoined for the early exchanges, but now that Chataway in the white 62 car is just beginning to build that advantage, we go in car with Stefano D'Aste, as he's now right on the tail of Olivier Cunat as they make their way out of Chateau d'Eau and down towards the Lycée complex that will bring them towards the end of the lap. Indicators still going from D'Aste, although Marc Goudet not really in a position to pick his way past just yet, and you can see how hard D'Aste is trying. The car twitching under braking as they go into the Lycée, then leaping across the curbs as Goudet takes more curb than the two cars ahead of him. Back towards the rear of the field, we say goodbye, unfortunately, to Matteo Castiglione as he embeds himself in the gravel trap. If you're going to beat yourself, well, do it comprehensively, and that's exactly what Castiglione has done, as D'Aste gets a very good run at the early phase of Estoril here, right on the tail of Olivier Cunat. D'Aste runs wide, not as wide as Jacques Villeneuve in 1996 when he wrote off the Williams going through there, as he now tucks into the slipstream of the Frenchman. Olivier Cunat sees D'Aste coming, he covers the inside line. Although D'Aste right in his tail, he looks to the inside. We go up the Adelaide hairpin, often the scene of much drama. As D'Aste, the car weaving under braking, he launches to the inside of Olivier Cunat. Cunat holds the outside line. Do they make contact? No, but through goes Stefano D'Aste, and Marc Goudet bounces across the grass trying to pick his way through as well. Now, has he been able to clear Olivier Cunat? No, he hasn't. So Cunat just about holds Marc Goudet at bay. Now, what can Stefano D'Aste do about pulling away from Olivier Cunat? We arrive at the 180-degree corner. That is the hairpin that marks the midway point on the lap. And D'Aste, the ex-World Touring Car Championship racer, already begins to stretch a bit of an advantage over Olivier Cunat, but D'Aste is working his car far harder than that of Cunat, so I just wonder if Olivier will work himself back onto his tail. Marc Goudet is driving a very fine race as well, in close contention behind the two Exiges, battling away in front of him. Although for the moment, I think that Cunat's got to worry a little bit more about Goudet than D'Aste streaking off into the distance. There is Thierry Verheest, as he is running up to the tail of Carl Vivian. He looks to the inside of Vivian, no way through there. They are both chasing down in turn the number 9 Fortina car that was involved in the incident early on. Now what can Verheest do? This time he closes once more onto Carl Vivian. Carl Vivian keeping the 211 at bay for the moment. It's a good run from Carl Vivian, as they are also chasing down Simon Deacon. Now this is Verheest a couple of laps ago. What did he do? Well, he went across the curb is what he did, and he very nearly wiped out Carl Vivian into the bargain. Bumpy ride there for the Belgian, as we have Olivier Cunat back ahead of Stefano D'Aste. Great battle this. Now what happened here? Well, D'Aste goes through up the inside of the Adelaide hairpin, as he then has Cunat swoop around the outside of him. So Olivier Cunat back into the Exige class as Gregory Rass recovers up through the field. He makes his way to the inside of a collision is what he makes his way to the inside of. Disaster there, rotation from Sebastian Schwertner in the number 14 car. So Sebastian Schwertner rotates down the order. And Stefano D'Aste, again, a liberal dose of curb from him. Works at the wheel. You can really see D'Aste trying as hard as he can. He's now got the warning lights on. Not sure quite what he's trying to tell Marc Goudet. Goudet, for the moment, is just sitting there and waiting, I think, possibly for D'Aste to make an error. You can see just how aggressive D'Aste is being, whereas Marc Goudet, in contrast, looking very smooth as he just clips the curb going through Lycée. Well, there we have evidence of just how close the Cunat and D'Aste battle is as they make the slightest of contact. Well, this is a great recovery from Gregory Rass. He's now right on the tail of Dennis van den Sarvel. And then we have the number 2 to 11, that's Gabriele Peralisi, the Italian racer, as Dennis van den Sarvel has got Gregory Rass on his tail. Rass is the white and black car with the slightly reprofiled front end. Van den Sarvel in the bright orange machine holding the inside line. Scott Cruikshank in the back ground, also trying to go through the field as Ras looks to the inside of Van den Sarvel. No way through there. Great driving by Dennis Van den Sarvel. He really held his line superbly as that enables Scott Cruikshank to close on to the tail of the pair of them. Cruikshank and Ras, of course, came together in the early stages of the race, so they are really trying to work their way back up the order, although Dennis Van den Sarvel keeping them at bay. We go back to the race leader. Romain Routereau has now pulled well clear of Christophe Legendre, as I think he was just thanking Nigel Ayres there for getting out of the way, as he is now well in amongst some of the slower production cars. These 211s, in comparison to production cars, considerably quicker, and it's perhaps no surprise that as we move towards the closing stage of this race, that Routereau is in amongst the back markers. He raises his hand in acknowledgement once more, because we've got the last lap, the single digit being extended by the race official, telling the drivers there's 1 lap to go, as he perches precariously on the pit wall, as Routereau now well clear of his Boursier competition teammate Christophe Legendre. Although we are into the midst of the traffic, and most of these drivers in the production class are quite happy racing amongst themselves, as we come onto the tail of Moritz Hanapel. And Hanapel has been snaffled there. Routereau goes straight to the inside of him. We also go past Herbert Metzger in the number 12 machine, as Nigel Ayres is lapped by Christophe Legendre. Legendre, who's had a good run at Snetterton in June, is continuing his fine run of form, although I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about Romain Routereau in this final 2/3 of the lap. He exits the Adelaide hairpin and then makes his way on to the first of the high-speed chicanes here, the Nürburgring chicane. That will then bring him on to the 180-degree hairpin, as Legendre. Beautiful images these, the car just kissing the curves. It really looks absolutely fantastic, and Legendre as well driving on the limit but in full control. Through the 180-degree hairpin he goes, and then he'll accelerate onto the second of the high-speed chicanes. That is the Imola chicane, which is just being exited by Romain Routereau, as he then heads on to Chateau d'Eau for the final time. He's actually just picking his way through Imola now, and then on to Chateau d'Eau, the much slower right-hander. Through Chateau d'Eau he goes, having absolutely no trouble with the back markers whatsoever. Then he will run downhill to the Lycée complex, and that will bring out the checkered flag and the end of the race, and what looks like being an emphatic victory for Romain Routereau. So we just have the Lycée complex to go, as Routereau looks like he's going to win the first race here at Magny Cours in round 3 of the 2010 Lotus Cup Europe. Out of the far chicane he comes, the checkered flag is waved, and Romain Routereau takes the win at Magny Cours. A superb drive from the Frenchman. Second place goes to his teammate Christophe Legendre. Legendre keeping him company all the way, finishing in the end just a couple of seconds back. And then third place going to the third the Boursier competition meant Philippe Loup. Well, the final classification does confirm that Romain Routereau has taken the victory from Christophe Legendre, with Philippe Loup in third. Andreas Holzleithner taking fourth place, and Marc Goudet, a fine drive, rewarded with fifth position. Into the classes, well, the 211 class, the top 3 are the top 3 in the race, so it's Routereau, Legendre and Philippe Loup, Boursier competition lockout. The exige class, it was Olivier Cunat who took the honours from Carl Vivian and then Gregory Ras, with Daste fading late in the race. Gavin Kirby took the production class win from James Knight and Marcus Nikovic, and the invitation class was won by Andreas Holzleithner. And then we also had the runners from the Lotus Cup Italy, the 211 class, and that was won by Franco Bobbiesi. And then Stefano Daste did take some credit from this race. He won the exige class. Well, a great race from the Lotus Cup Europe, and scenes of jubilation on the podium in front of a very appreciative crowd. Some very, very enjoyable racing, and the community spirit of the Lotus Cup Europe really coming to the fore.
Romain, congratulations. How was the heat affecting the performance of the car?
No, I had no problem, no real problem with the heat. I was just in the front, and I just did my best and could quite manage the race, so no real problem with the heat.
Olivier, congratulations. That was quite a battle.
Yes, thank you very much. But it was a real battle, and I am very happy to have won and to be in front of Stefano Dasta.
Gavin, a fantastic result. You're racing in the production class this time.
Yeah, back in production this week for Magny Cours. James gave me a good run for the first few laps and had to defend him off down the back straight. His car seems to have a little bit more speed than mine, but I just carried on plugging away at the faster boys in front of me. Fortunately, they've got the superchargers on the back and just couldn't keep with them. So but on the brakes and in the corners, we were there, so they knew I was there.
Andreas, did you enjoy that race?
Oh yes, it was pure pleasure. I enjoyed it very much because I had a good qualifying, but I broke my fourth gear, and so I thought I will be far behind during the race. But actually, the gear worked with doing clutch, and second time, yeah, it worked.
Thank you. A hot and exhausting race for the drivers, but full of thrills and spills for us, the spectators. If you enjoyed that, then join us after the break for more here at Magny Cours from the Lotus Cup Europe.